clicking on this video. It's gonna be a special one. I mean, they're all special to me, but this one in particular, just because, let me tell you, the past couple of days in particular have just been extremely divine for me. Like, I guess you could say I've reached the point where I'm manifesting in the 3D realm and 5D, and you may or may not know what this means. I'm definitely going to be getting into detail about this in some future videos, but as for right now, I'm just going to say that. And so, experiencing this for the first time, I was able to really connect with myself. It was like I stepped out of my body. I mean, I was just sitting at my desk, looking at myself in the mirror, like, just sitting there, hanging out, and thinking about everything that's been going on. And I just felt a need to, ask myself some questions. And one big one that I had was, what has epilepsy been teaching me? I just really went deep within myself, and I was communicating with my body. When I was in the 3D, just 3D, like blocking myself off from experiencing full 5D, it felt like, so before it felt like I was just one, like I'm just Haley, my body, like this is me. And yes, that is the case, we are humans, but more so we're spiritual beings inside of our human bodies, just having a human experience here on earth. And this is something that we need to realize, because when we don't acknowledge this, and we think that we have no control over our reality, over ourselves, or anything, we can't manifest our reality in that way. I mean, we're manifesting our reality, but manifesting it to be difficult and resistant, when you become aware that there's so much more to you than just a body, you become aware that you create your reality with your thoughts, beliefs, what you tell people, the stories you tell people, like it all ties into our life. So I know I went on for a little bit. I'm gonna get into the video. So I would always say this, like I feel like I'm just in between two worlds or whatever. Well, it wasn't that, but basically was. It was 3D and it's 4D or 5D. I haven't even, like, I'm not gonna lie and say that I've done a bunch of research on this, but I do watch Aaron Dowdy's videos and Infinite Waters, just like plenty of people who are very informed on it. And so I haven't actually done my own research, but just from what I've heard, this is what I'm resonating with right now, so I'm going with it. And so in other words, 3D and 5D is basically materialism or self-love, the path of materialism or the path of self-love. It was like my soul saying, who are you going to go to feel content? What are you going to go to feel content? Outside material things, or are you going to go within yourself? Because you can't rely upon outside things to make you feel content and fulfilled. We have to be independent. We have to know that we don't need anybody to make us feel complete. Now, I mean, we came here to connect with people. already connecting with new people just by starting this channel and sharing my voice. So I'm feeling all these things manifesting into my life, and it's amazing. I feel blessed. What was I saying though? I was saying, oh yes, that you did come here to connect, to make connections, make special connections, and be able to share our voice with people, and in return get reciprocality, and just be there for each other, because we're all one. We're all one. And so it took me all of these years to get to this and to see everything from this light, but now that I have, I just want to share with you guys how epilepsy, having seizures, has been healing me physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay. So physically, the seizures were helping me by literally shaking off any energy that wasn't good for me. Any energy that was preventing me from evolving into my highest self, or into the 5D. So my spirit or my soul was like, no. I can't be in this body with all this density. Like, I need to release it somehow so I can be the light that I am inside of this body. Like, there was so much resistance because I wasn't taking care of myself. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, the most recent ones I've had were from drinking alcohol and like staying up late. I'm not an alcoholic or anything, but I drink with my girlfriends, and I happen to, you know, a lot of the seizures that I've had in the past have happened to be on those super fun nights. But you know, what I realized is that those fun nights, yes, they're very fun and special, but there has to be boundaries, and this is what I just wasn't paying attention to. Like, I was basically neglecting myself because I knew that I was taking medications, and that, you know, oh, okay, my epilepsy is under control because I'm taking medications. So this was basically enabling me from making any changes. I felt vulnerable to epilepsy, like I had no control over it. It's just what I had, and this has been for 5 or 6 years. So it's like I'm at a point now where, because I'm really realizing that I have full control over my reality and over my state of being, I realize that I have control over this too, but I just have to take the necessary steps, do the work, you know, look within myself, which I wasn't doing. I would always say, okay, like, I know I have epilepsy, and yeah, it sucks, but it's happening for a reason. So yeah, I always knew there was a reason behind it, but never trying to dive deep into those reasons. You know, I was still struggling with having seizures every once in a while. It would happen when I would do something neglectful, you know. It's like my body was trying to communicate with me that, you know, this stuff is not for you, this way of being is not for you, it doesn't resonate with who you are anymore, like, you have to make changes. And I did. At a young age, I was taken out of school, like basically forced to be homeschooled and all of this stuff, because school and waking up early, like the sleep schedule of having to be on the clock, waking up by the clock, was really not good for me. I was really struggling, so we had to make those changes. So ever since 6th grade, I've had to become responsible and you know, wake up So in a way, like, I've been aware since then of what I needed to be doing, but yet still holding on to the 3D. And the reason why was because I didn't think I had control over the epilepsy. I was taking those medications, like giving the medication the power over me. So physically, the seizures were healing me by making sure that I didn't keep that energy that wasn't resonating with me anymore inside of my body. You know, since I wasn't doing the emotional self-work, there was a lot of unresolved issues, which I'm going to get to right now. So emotionally, the seizures healed me by basically forcing me to look within myself and work through my traumas. Because if I didn't, they would all become built up intense emotions that weren't even truly how I even felt, but they felt so intense because I would hold it in for so long. I wasn't loving myself enough to actually tend to my feelings, I guess. And I was never speaking out about it either, like to my family or and I didn't, like, none of this was intentional. I didn't realize that I was doing this to myself. I actually didn't think that my feelings mattered. Like, I would say it's just gonna stress you out if you start thinking about that feeling. So don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Don't get to the bottom of it. Don't talk about it with anyone, basically, was the mentality that I had. Let it go. Just let it go. And see, that right there was deadly for me. Like, that is a no-no. Because again, I felt trapped inside of my body. I wasn't giving myself the love, the emotional support, love, and effort that my soul was longing for. But apparently I intuitively knew that if I had a seizure, it would not only wake me up, but my family as well, because every time I would have a seizure, it was a very traumatic experience, which forced us all to face our emotions. You know, it would be like, okay, 1 minute we're all fine, and then the next minute I have a seizure, and like, whoa, okay, why is this happening to us? And you know, that's the mentality we had. We didn't see it the way we see it now. We didn't know this information at the time, so we saw my having seizures as a bad, scary thing, which I'm not saying it isn't a scary thing. It's, if you've ever seen a seizure, it's very intense and traumatic. It really is, for the person having the seizure and anyone around, because there's nothing you can do for that person in the moment, besides, you know, watch, you know, lay them on their side, do whatever you can, but you really can't do anything. But because I was so stuck in that, I never saw the bright side to the seizures. I was so focused on how traumatizing and scary they were. I wasn't thinking about what could this be teaching me. Like, I would just say, it's happening for a reason, I know, but I didn't know what the reason was. I'd be like, eventually the reason will come up, and well, here it is. Years later though, but better late than never, because guys, I'm healing myself. Like, I am healing myself. I don't have to depend on medications. As of right now, I'm still taking them, but that will be changing. You'll see. So again, being in that mentality, I felt trapped inside of my body because I didn't know or have the faith that I could heal myself. I just didn't know. I was trapped in the feeling of being vulnerable to epilepsy. Or in other words, I didn't know that my body was trying to help me. I mean, it's been communicating with me this whole time, giving me the answers on what I need to let go of, what I need to do, to help me evolve into who I am at this very moment that I'm talking to you guys right now. So it was all happening for the better good of myself and for humanity as well. Whoever's gonna find this, I hope you can learn something from this, because I'm not gonna get emotional. I did that earlier. But no, it's the worst feeling in the world to feel like you have no control over things that are happening to you in life. And that was the greatest thing about this whole awakening that I've had, is that I realized that I don't have to suffer in this life. I can live a good life. I can be happy, healthy. I don't have to, follow the crowd and be miserable in a job for the rest of my life and just go to school, get a job, have a family, and that's it. Like, no, I've always wanted and dreamed bigger for myself. And so this awakening is the biggest blessing in my life, because for these couple years that I've been in the dark in between these two worlds, I felt like I had no control. Like, I could see the good, I could see the light, but it was like, you're still this body, you're still just Haley. Like, I don't feel that way anymore, and it's amazing. So all I want to do is just share this with you guys, and know that we have control. We have control over our reality. As epilepsy pushed me to change my lifestyle, I had a choice to continue on the path I was on for the rest of my life, just depending on medications, or I had the choice to get to the roots of all of my unresolved issues so that I can actually permanently heal myself. And who wouldn't want that for themselves, especially someone with epilepsy? Like, you want to take your power back. You want to know that you can live your life as long as you're doing your part. You can't just put your whole life, your health, in the hands of doctors and medications. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I'm still taking medications right now, right? But the important thing is that I'm stepping into this now. And you can too, Don't depend on the medical system. We don't know what's gonna happen today or tomorrow. Like, pharmacies can shut down. Anything can happen. Look at all this stuff going on with the coronavirus and just everything. Like, this is something that we've never experienced. I've never experienced this, definitely, that's for sure. So I just know that you never know what's gonna happen, and that's not even my motivation to making the change, but it's just a big reason to add as to why we should turn to natural healing rather than depending on the medical system. So now let's get into how it healed me mentally. So, well, this healed me mentally because I learned to let go of my ego, which was all self-sabotaging thoughts running through my head, preventing me from stepping into my highest self, expressing myself, making change, just everything basically. Like, my ego had control over my life, pretty much. So a lot of the thoughts I would have was that I shouldn't express myself because people were gonna think I was doing it to make them jealous or like throw it in their face, I guess. I don't know, and I let this stop me for the longest time. For the longest time. But there's only so long that our authentic self can hide away before it goes crazy and forces you to look at it and love it, right? Like, which is what epilepsy was trying to do for me, was doing for me. We're meant to express ourselves freely without judgment. This is everything, you guys. Like, it's literally medicine. It's self-healing. Epilepsy healed me mentally because I learned to decipher what was my ego and what was my intuition. So I found peace within myself because all my intuition or my higher self is pure love, authenticity, gratitude, just motivation, inspiration, empathy. I'm pretty sure I already said empathy, but it's just pure love and high vibrations. And when you are that, that is who we are. It's just that we have to realize that we're not our ego. We are our higher self. Our higher self is us. It's not something separate. It is us. And when we learn to fully step into this, immerse ourselves in ourselves, we attract all of our desires. I'm not kidding. We just manifest greatness into our lives. So I'm eternally grateful for epilepsy because I am where I am today because of it. Who knows what timeline I would be on right now if I hadn't been diagnosed with epilepsy when I was in the 6th grade. Yeah, just who knows? I mean, everything has been happening in divine alignment, and I just feel extremely blessed and grateful to know this. Seriously, just to know this, know that I have everything I need within myself, and so do you. So, you know, what life do you want for yourself? And choose to take the steps towards getting there, because you really can. It's not a dream, it's not unrealistic. It's what we came here to do. We came here to enjoy life. So I know, having epilepsy wasn't necessarily the easiest way for me to learn all of this, but the thing is, I only made it difficult for myself because I saw it that way, in a bad light. I didn't see it as my body trying to communicate with me, to guide me. And all along, it didn't have to be a scary thing. I just had to change the way I looked at it and learn from it so I can grow and be where I am right now. Guys, this is just everything to me, seriously. Like, I don't know what to say right now. I'm just going to say thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing me to express myself and to share this with you guys, because it's changed my life, and I know that from this point on, my life is going to be what I make it. And the only way it would be otherwise is if I allowed that to happen. And I don't see myself allowing that to happen. So, I'm doing great, alright? And I hope you guys are doing great too. Let me know what you think about this video down below in the comments. share some of your experiences, what you've learned from epilepsy. I would love to hear about it. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for this one, but I'll definitely be posting updates about easing off of the medication and how it's all going for me, this self-healing process. All right, I'm just so excited. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.